Hello and welcome. It's Elle here from Beyond Expectations. I hope you had a wonderful festive time. Wishing you a very happy new year, and thank you so much for joining me in this video. Now, I haven't actually done a question video for quite some time, so I thought this might be a great opportunity to answer your questions and help you and assist you. This particular question stood out for me because I haven't actually gotten a question like this before. I have, but not for a very long time, so I thought it was important to answer. And it goes like this. Love seeing the beautiful relationship you and your daughters have. Could you please talk about what you believe helped you the most raising your daughters in the next video? Thanks. Thank you so much. This is an excellent question. I'm going to give you straight up the number one thing that helped me. I'm also going to give you lots of tips and tricks along the way. And at the very end, I'm going to talk about my relationship with my teenage daughters now. So let's jump into it. The number one thing that really helped me with raising my daughters is they are my first priority. They are my absolute first priority before anything. They're my first priority before work. They're my first priority before even myself at times, and my family. And when I say that they're my first priority, their concerns and their worries and what they're going through is always at the forefront of my mind. Of course, it's important as a mother to take care of yourself, give yourself 10% to give a better 90, but I'm talking about in a practical sense. So when they were kids, when they were little, if they were going through a hard time, they couldn't sleep, I would be on a mattress on the floor next to them. If they had issues at school, I would be at school talking to the teachers, talking to whoever was involved. If they had a nightmare and they were upset and scared and alone, they would be with me and cuddling with me. Now as teenagers, if they have any relationship issues, because that tends to be where you have problems, or any issues with dealing with their time and schedule because they have so much on being teenagers, I'm always there ready and available for them. They're my number one priority. They're the people that I love spending the most time with, and they're the people that I basically dedicate my life to. So that is really where it all comes from, is they are my number one priority. They always have been and they always will be. I'm trying to set up my daughters so that when I eventually pass away, which is inevitable, I know it's sad to say, that they'll be self-sufficient and reliant and be able to do things for themselves. And the way that I do that is that I mentor to them, how to cook, how to clean, how to wash their clothes, how to iron their clothes, and they can basically do all that now. So Mika is 12, almost 13, and Kiana is 14, and they both are very self-sufficient. If I was to go away for 2 weeks, they'd be able to look after themselves. I wouldn't do that, of course. Now, another thing that I find really important, especially in the fitness community, is that there's just so much emphasis put on training in the gym and exercise and all these. It's almost segregated from the family. It's like an individual thing. The way that I do it is very different. When COVID happened, the girls weren't able to do their normal activities. They couldn't go swimming, they couldn't do taekwondo, they couldn't do all the things that they used to do, school sport, all that type of stuff. And I started training with them. That actually still continues. I still train with them of a morning. I actually use my fitness bands and we work out together, or we go for a walk, or we ride on the scooters, but pretty much we still train together. And exercise for us is a fun activity. If you had a look at the vlog that I created recently, Kiana and Kamika and I actually did 3 theme parks in 3 days. We didn't want to leave John for too long, so we literally got off a plane and went straight to a theme park, and it was super fun, super jam-packed and busy, but I wouldn't have the energy and the stamina that I have to keep up with teenagers if I didn't actually, 1, take care of myself, 2, make sure that I have the correct nutrition. I'm actually getting a bit hungry, so I'm going to start eating now. I've got some prawns here. And also that, I am active and I do move, but my movement is not in a gym sense. My movement is with them. So my exercise and things that I do to keep up my energy and fitness levels, if you will, with the girls. But predominantly it's mostly diet related. So that's how I'm able to maintain my shape and physique Kamika was born and Kiana was a 1-year-old, so for close to 13 years now. Now, some tips and tricks for you that I would suggest if you do have young children is that you really do need to schedule, and you have to be very strict with it. And I'll tell you why. Children just respond better when they're in some sort of schedule. I mean, obviously there's going to be days where you're a little bit off plan or you're a bit sort of running behind or whatnot. But you'll generally find that if they know what's happening every single day, they're going to respond better. So if they know that breakfast is at 7 a.m. and morning tea is at 10 and lunch is at 1, they're going to respond a lot better because they know that's the routine. And also they don't tend to argue because they know, well, that's what we do at this time of the day, and it's set in stone. Personally, I would keep a day off plan, like a cheat day, a day to relax and unwind. We won't strict with a schedule as much. But generally speaking, the schedule is really going to help you with little ones. With older kids, if you have primary school age students, again, a schedule is important, but also being able to be flexible when necessary and being able to listen and talk to them. I find that being there for them and having conversation is really important. It's hard to listen as a parent. We often want to give our own point of view and what we think is best, but we really just need to listen to our kids and what they have to say for themselves. And if you have teenagers or tweenies, if you didn't know, is a new word that was coined for kids that are not quite kids and not quite teenagers. They called them tweens. You really need to just listen and be there. So I guess my one thing that helped me was they're my number one priority. I put them first, and they're the people I want to spend the most time with, in my social time, in my free time. I want to be with them. I actually enjoy their company, and I'm proud of the girls that they are, and I'm proud of how they respond to the world. Also, having a husband who's chronically ill, for the girls, they've had to be very grown up from a young age. They've had to be more responsible than most children, I assume, because they generally can't be ratty because their father's not well, so therefore they have to be more responsible. So there's always a silver lining, as they say. Now this is really delicious. Tell me what your favorite food is down in the comments below if you're still here. And also definitely do ask me your questions, because I'll either create a video for you or I'll respond in the comments below. And yes, it's always me responding. You're not getting someone else from my team. It's always me. Now this is the excellent thing about working with my clients, is that I'm able to, have these awesome conversations about parenting and about life, because it's one thing to be able to get a diet and an exercise, and it's a whole nother thing to be able to feel supported and have someone to mentor you and guide you and encourage you along the way. We all need it. We all need to feel loved, appreciated and nurtured. And when I am your coach and your mentor, basically I'm your fitness best friend. I'm the person there to make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing, that you're eating your meals at the correct time, and if you're not, why not? And also support you when life happens, because it happens to us all. I mean, the amount of troubles I can tell you that have happened to my clients this week is ridiculous. Just off the top of my head, somebody broke their toe, someone else's father went to hospital, another person's parent also had medical problems. I mean, there's just so many things that happen in life that we feel like we're alone, and often that's when we fall off the wagon for our, reshaping, transforming journey, because we feel lonely and we're not supported. But when you're working with me, you're 100% supported by me all the time. I'm always there, I always have my phone, it's right next to me. So you're as close to me as my phone is. So more or less, you're like my daughters, because you're here with me always, and I'll always be able to respond to you. And my clients can tell you I don't sleep very much, and I'm always around. So there's that. But if you feel lonely and like you need that extra support and guidance, and you need someone to be there for you, at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're having that dark night of the soul, which is what John and I like to call it, when you're feeling like, life's hard and difficult and you want to give up on yourself and your journey, then definitely click the link down below. You'll be given a form which you fill out, and it has a number of questions, and that's just to see that I can help you. I want to get someone that I can work with, that we're going to be compatible and ultimately have a symbiotic relationship with. So do click the link down below, and I'd love to be put in touch with you. And if you're a successful candidate, then I'll be in touch and we can work together. Thank you so much. I really do hope this video helps you, and please subscribe, turn on the bell notifications. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Leave me your questions, and thank you so much. Goodbye.